You do reserve the right to call back either or both of the respondent members if you need to ask them more questions.
Two Regina city councillors were supposed to learn their fate Wednesday night after the city's integrity commissioner ruled they violated a code of ethics. But councillors Dan LeBlanc and Andrew Stevens will have to wait at least a few more weeks. That's because after hours of debate, Mayor Sandra Masters and the rest of council voted to table the subject.
I'm not enjoying the fact that we're kicking this down the road a little bit further.
This dispute goes back to last June. That's when council unanimously voted to direct city administration to figure out the cost of ending homelessness in Regina and to put it in the city budget. But that figure wasn't included in the preliminary budget or the final one. Councillor Stevens, represented by Councillor LeBlanc, sued city manager Nikki Anderson, trying to get it back in the budget. The lawsuit failed, and despite Anderson saying she felt harassed by the lawsuit, the city's integrity commissioner ruled there was no ill intent. Instead, Angela Kruk found the lawsuit reflected poorly on Regina's government. She recommended council direct LeBlanc and Stevens to issue a written apology to Anderson.
The purpose is not to punish, it's not for retribution, it is to prevent the conduct from happening again in the future.
LeBlanc says a forced apology isn't an apology at all. He believes this is a disagreement over policy and politics.
And if after several more meetings they do decide to tell me to write an apology, is to say, you folks write the apology to describe what you think I should feel, and then insert a line that says, we're requiring Dan to sign this. And I'll sign that document.
So what governs then conflicts of interest, which could be quite serious?
Stevens was more subdued. He says he'd be willing to offer an apology, although he's not clear for what. He did put another option on the table.
Let's get a mediator, let's sit down, and we can have a discussion like we just had in a private session where here's some issues that I think are quite egregious. We need to work on that.
The non-decision on Wednesday highlights the rift at council, one that officials admit distracts from creating good public policy. One example, Kruk serves as the integrity commissioner for Regina and Saskatoon. She confirms that in her role in Saskatoon, she received no formal complaints in 2022. In Regina, she received 8. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.
Mr. Clerk, please address.